Adam Kownacki defeats Chris Arreola on a 12-round unanimous decision and breaks a CompuBox punch record in the process. Now, I remember when David Tua fought David Izon, and I also remember when David Tua fought Ike Ibeabuchi, and both of those fights broke CompuBox punch records for heavyweight. One of them broke the CompuBox record for punches landed, and the other one broke the CompuBox record for punches thrown. I think Tua Ibeabuchi was the one that broke the CompuBox record for punches thrown, and that held the record for a long time. But this fight right here between Kownacki and Arreola has broken that. I think it broke both CompuBox record for punches thrown and punches landed over a 12, in a 12-round fight for heavyweights. So yeah, you know what kind of fight it was if you didn't see it for yourselves. All action, non-stop, fighting in the phone booth. It wasn't as compelling for my money as David Tua versus Ibeabuchi. I felt like, Tua versus Ibeabuchi is a classic heavyweight slugfest from back in the late 90s. And the punch quality in that fight was a lot better than it was in this fight. Kownacki against Arreola, a lot of clubbing punches. Neither guy is particularly explosive or fast. Both very similar styles. Kownacki, obviously the younger guy. Arreola, a veteran, been around a long time, taking a lot of punishment, as you can tell by the look of his face. And he hung in there as long as he could, which was obviously the 12 rounds. But I'm talking about from a competitive standpoint. Arreola was hanging in there until he says he broke his hand. And when he broke his hand, he wasn't able to let his hands go the way he would have liked to. And in fact, he was constantly telling his trainer in the corner, Joe Goosen, that his hand was hurting and this, that, and the other. But ultimately, Kownacki was just the younger, more energetic, and to me looked like the physically stronger fighter in there. And he just outdid Arreola at his own game. I've seen some people say it was a disappointing performance by Kownacki. They wanted to see him knock Arreola out. And that on this performance, there's no way that he's going to beat Deontay Wilder. Well, I hate to go back to the old adage, people, but styles really do make fights. Would I pick Deontay Wilder to beat Kownacki? 100% yes, I would. But it would be a very different fight to the Arreola fight. Yeah, it would be a very different style matchup. You've got Kownacki, who's just an all-out pressure fighter, throws a lot of volume, heavy-handed. And you've got Deontay Wilder, who doesn't like to punch non-stop like Kownacki. Kownacki's got a very, very high punch output. Deontay Wilder don't have a very high punch output. He's like a lot of these very tall heavyweights. His punch output is moderate, at best. So would Deontay Wilder be able to maybe hurt Kownacki and keep him off, or just blast him out early? I mean, maybe he would, but there's also a chance if Kownacki is able to deflect Deontay's shots or take Deontay's shots, that he will be able to put a lot of pressure on, force Deontay to work harder than he wants to work, and maybe score an upset. Boxing is like that, particularly heavyweight boxing. You should expect the unexpected. And do not discount the significance of the whole styles make fights adage. Yeah, because it really is a reoccurring theme if you follow boxing for long enough, particularly in the heavyweight division. So, yeah, I thought it was a workmanlike performance from Kownacki. I wasn't particularly disappointed. Arreola's a vet. And, he hung in there and did his thing. If Arreola was going to go rounds with any of the top 10 heavyweights at the moment, I would imagine it would be somebody like Kownacki. Because Arreola, even though he was getting outworked and outstrengthed for the most part, that's his kind of fight. Arreola was in his comfort zone. I know it didn't look very comfortable, but that's his kind of fight. So mentally, Arreola likes a guy to stand in front of him and trade. You understand? When he's having to chase you around and he's being frustrated and tied up and hit with big shots from long range, that's a fight where Arreola's more likely to get stopped. because it's a mental battle that he's having to go through, chasing a guy down and having the reach disadvantage and all that kind of stuff. Whereas when a guy's right there in front of him, yeah, it's still a tough fight, but he's in his comfort zone mentally. You know? I know he had the broken hand and all that kind of stuff, but just from a stylistic point of view. So I wasn't particularly disappointed in Kownacki. It would have been nice if he got Arreola out of there, but hey, didn't manage to do it, still got the win. I felt like he won comfortably. I feel like his punch quality was better than Arreola's. I feel like he buzzed Arreola several times in the fight. And yeah, he just did his thing. So onwards and upwards for Adam Kownacki. Maybe this will make it easier for Kownacki to get some big fights. Because, you know, if people were really not impressed by the Arreola performance, maybe one of the other top 10 heavyweights will think, you know what? Yeah, I'll have a bit of that. I'll fight Kownacki in some kind of eliminator or whatever. Let's go. You know, I'll take this guy out. And they may well find that it's not as easy as it looks. You know, because Deontay Wilder, of course, is a lot better than Arreola. But Deontay Wilder can't do what Arreola can do. Yeah? Deontay Wilder can't throw punches non-stop and take all the abuse that Arreola can take. You understand? Same way for, you know, many of the top heavyweights. So Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, they can't take the kind of non-stop abuse that an Arreola could take and have the punch output. They can't do that. They can do many things, you know, many other things that Arreola can't do, but there's also things Arreola can do that they can't do. That's what you have to be cognizant of when you look at it, you know, different fights. So you may have a fighter out there who overlooks that. Somebody in the top 10 who thinks, yeah, I'll take Kownacki. Did look good against Arreola. Get in there, hit Kownacki with their best shots, but can't keep him off. And all of a sudden, they're in deep water and Kownacki's drowning them. You know, so I wouldn't write Adam Kownacki off just yet. At least, you know, not from my perspective personally. I think he's still going to be an interesting fighter in the top 10 of the heavyweight rankings who I think probably does have a couple good wins in him against big names, you know. Obviously, Chris Arreola is the biggest name he's beaten so far, but I think he'll beat some bigger names than this before his time is done in boxing. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know if you were impressed or if you weren't impressed. Yeah, just let me know. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.